All right. Well, I think we're going live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Evan and Eric Show presents the Red and Blue Soccer Chat. My name is Evan. I'm with the very blue Blues today. However, it is not all bad, but to my left and to your visual right is my best friend Aaron, and he is representing the Red Devils from, oh no, Manchester United. Guys, listen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. My man, I'm feeling kind of low, man. I'm feeling kind of low.
Well, I get it.
But that's, you got to be a fan through the whole thing. You got to be a fan.
It's true.
And yeah.
You may have noticed we've got a little special guest tonight, as we did last year. We've got Santa the Pooh or Winnie the Claus. I'm not sure what works there.
I don't know. I like Winnie the Claus.
Well, that's true.
Like, don't mess with his honey.
Weird horror movie.
Yes.
Yep. This is what we do.
That's
here.
what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
That's what it is. I've got to do this, though. I got to do this. Boop.
There you go.
All right. I didn't mess him up, did I?
No, he's totally fine.
He's cool.
Every once in a while,
a little hard on
he's
there.
he's a little round, and he kind of weeble wobbles.
He weebles. Okay. But he doesn't fall down. And not according to Aaron. So, guys, listen. Thank you for joining us tonight. I don't know. I think we should just dive in. I actually have some comments from listeners to reference.
Okay, so we've had a couple games here in the last few days.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Do you want to start with the good or the not so good?
You know what? Let's start with the good.
Okay, because I mean,
start with the good. Wait. Are we starting with the good for the blue team?
Yes.
It's got to be that one.
Well, absolutely, and I think it is. Chelsea till I die is okay. We loved our team on Sunday. Honestly, a great performance. Marred by another red card.
Yes.
Otherwise, I think we were in complete control of that match.
Yep.
And then today, I think there was the possibility of a letdown. Caicedo not being there, the midfield was a little wonky.
Yes.
Cole Palmer is he needed minutes for sure, but to expect him to come on and be a savior, I think was going to be a little bit much. So, what were your big takeaways from the Arsenal match? Like, what impressed you the most? Any particular players?
Yeah, I mean, the Arsenal match, there was a lot to take away from there. First of all, Trebo, love you, man. Maybe getting sent away last year, coming back to the squad did something to him, but my God, that guy played with reckless abandon. No, he played with controlled abandon last week. I mean, he was all over the place, started scoring for everybody, and it really got us to a point to where we were like, okay, we can play with 10. I was happy about that. I was happy about Enzo Fernandez. I was happy about all the guys on the pitch at the time because it was almost as if they said, okay, Caicedo, you let us down. And that's the way we have to start looking at this now. I mean, I referenced that there were a couple of listeners that kind of sent me messages, and one of them was Rob. Rob, love you, buddy. Listener of the podcast, a Manchester United fan, texted and said, hey, just want to let you know, the record for red cards in a Premier League season is 8. We're just over a third way into the season, and Chelsea have 5.
Yeah. No, it seems to be.
And he wasn't joking about it. He was like, man, this is a serious problem. I'm like, no, it is a serious problem. But I will tell you I was most impressed with, because both of us have been on him for a little while now. It was Reece James. James had probably in my opinion, so far this year, his best game against Arsenal.
I distinctly had that thought during the game.
He was everywhere, man.
He was aggressively protecting his teammates, but he managed to keep his own head. The Caicedo thing, it's definitely a red card.
Yep, absolutely. No argument.
I wish it weren't in a lot of ways.
I wish it went 3 games.
But
I'm like, but it's reckless.
The way the law is written, it definitely is. I mean, that was a common occurrence in every practice I played in high school and college. Never mind games. I mean, that was just. But I'm not trying to be back in my day kind of thing. I'm just saying, game has evolved, and the players have to know that.
Yep.
And unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, it seems like Chelsea have an issue with it. And it seems petty most of the time. Now that was a legitimate attempt to he was trying to play the ball. I don't think there was anything malicious about it.
No.
So this was just bad timing, and he got there late.
Yeah.
But the Delap red card, can't remember who had one another couple weeks ago, also toward the end of the match. Just absolutely unnecessary tackles.
Yes.
And nothing good was going to come out of it anyway. If Caicedo does get there in time and wins that ball, everybody goes, great tackle.
Yes,
right? If
right,
he needs to get
right.
the ball. But he didn't, so the consequences are there. But there seems to be 2 separate issues, and that is, one, rein in, your play.
Yes.
You guys got to play on the edge. I get it, but you got to recognize, what the consequences are. And 2, some of them just need to be pulled aside, I think, and told you have got to mature.
I agree 100%. And once again, fan interaction with Rob, I told him, I said, I do not want to become the EPL's Detroit Pistons of the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't want to become that. And that is literally what it feels like these guys are trying to do. It's like, look, it's a different sport. And these guys understand that. They should understand that, hey, there are times when you need to learn to pull back. Yeah. You're not going to win the ball. So it's better just to step back and to see if you can prevent any breakaway.
Well, and I guess I'll obviously discipline just was an issue in general. But Detroit tried to intimidate teams, and I'm not really seeing that's what Chelsea's trying to do. It doesn't look like they're coming out trying to maul guys.
Sure.
But the consequences and the results are the same.
But you got to remember, too, Chelsea is, overall roster. Now, granted, they have 50,000 people on their roster.
True.
But overall roster, they are the youngest
they are young.
EPL team right now. And so I think what has to happen is twofold. Number one, Enzo Maresca has to continue to instill discipline into these young guys. When they have 11 guys, the right 11 guys on the field, because that'll lead me into my next point. When they have the right 11 guys on the field, Chelsea can play with anybody in this league.
Agreed.
They can play with anybody in this league. I don't care who it is. It can be City.
Well, I think they just demonstrated against arguably Arsenal, the best team in the world.
With 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we can do that. Here's transitioning into today. Most of you, tens of viewers of ours, understand and know that Aaron is a huge IU fan, and I am a huge Ohio State fan. And we have a little game coming up this weekend. Here's my fear. My fear is that after all of the emotion and effort that we put into just taking the belt to Michigan's ass last weekend, is there anything left in the tank?
Right.
I feel that's part of what might have happened today, but here's what I really think went wrong today. It's not the squad. That's the reason why I wore this shirt. We're all gonna be there. It's how you show up.
Yeah.
It's how you show up to the game. Tosin, you had a bad day. There are plenty of games I can point to and say Tosin was solid that game.
Sure.
He did great that game. Yeah, he had a bad day. And for all you pundits, and yes, George Benson, I'm talking about you because I watched your live podcast today during the show, during the match, and everybody's calling out Tosin. Tosin is this, and Tosin needs to go, and Tosin blah, blah, blah. You know what? Here's the thing. If that guy had turned in a great performance and we won 3-0.
We're
3-1. That was nice. We won 3-1. Everybody would be singing his praises. It's that fickle. And so here's the thing. Guys are allowed to have bad days, damn it. They're allowed to have bad days. I was a huge fan, and I understand that not very many people were. But you know my guy in Chelsea, Diego Costa. I love that guy. Fucking love that guy. And the only reason why I love that guy is because he was on our team. And that guy was relentless. Was he probably one of the dirtiest players of his time? The blue side will say, man. The red side will be like, hell yeah, he was.
The only thing that bails him out from that moniker is the existence of Luis Suarez.
But he had bad days too, dude.
And Pepe.
He had bad days. So here's the thing, Tosin, I'm just going to rack that up as it was a horrible day for you. Horrible day for you. Robert Sanchez, you did everything you could in goal. The second goal, I'm not sure David De Gea could have stopped.
It was a banger.
That was just, it was smashed. It was crazy. The first and third goal were a joke. Our defense buckled. And that showed the fact that without Moises Caicedo on the pitch, we run amok. And he's not the only one. Without Reece James on the pitch. Reece James was quoted just a few days ago saying, I feel like I'm in the best shape in my career.
Reece James, bitch.
Exactly. I'm like, why wasn't he on the field? I think we took our eye off the ball and we looked at Leeds United and said, hey, let's rest our guys. Whoops. Let's rest our guys. And we shouldn't have. This is a Premier League match. This is a match that we should have had our best 11 out on the field. And we did not have the best 11. I think Enzo Maresca's number one thing that he still has to learn how to do is to recognize when somebody is not playing well. Esteval's one of the greatest players, in my opinion, one of the greatest young players in the world. That kid did not have it today.
No.
He didn't have it today. As a matter of fact, he should have gotten at least a yellow card, if not a red card, for tripping a guy.
I think
he should have been pulled
earlier. I think
in
a lot of ways you do have to just say it was a bad day at the office after such an emotional game, and not just emotional, but the effort that you put forth to play that well against a team like Arsenal requires everybody giving 110%.
But to put Cole Palmer in that situation, to say, hey, we're going to bring him on and hopefully he can do so. It's like, no, dude, no. The guy, the team has learned to play without him.
Yeah.
Now they have to relearn how to play with him, and he has to relearn to play with this team that's out there.
It was strange where he got, they basically played him as a 9. I'm not sure that gets the best out of him.
No.
Enzo Fernandez, I didn't even know was on the field today. But something, and this was pointed out by the announcers, and I was keeping a good tab on the game today. But at one point, they had actually mentioned how open Jamie Gittins was.
Oh, my.
And they were making no effort to get him the ball.
Exactly.
And then as soon as Garnacho comes on, they start feeding him the ball. And I'm like, that's all well and good, but Gittins got subbed because you guys weren't doing this right here.
He had three incredible crosses through the box when they got him the ball. Yeah. Garnacho had great crosses in the box when they got him the ball. The problem is that you're constantly trying to feed, and I love me some Liam Delap, but it felt like they were constantly trying to feed João Pedro and Liam Delap the ball instead of truly trying to work the ball down the sides and deliver it in the box, and whoever's there, strike it.
Well, there were multiple times when the player furthest up the pitch for Chelsea was Cucurella.
Yes.
And when everybody's forward, that's not a problem. But they actually mentioned that Cucurella didn't have anybody in the box to pass to.
No.
So, and this wasn't long ball got knocked out and Cucurella ran it down. This was, we carried it up and
matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
Everybody was sat back.
Yeah.
And I think at that point in time it showed that Chelsea was a little afraid to engage in the midfield in much the same way.
Well, sure. But here's the thing, and I will give it to Leeds, okay? Leeds, look, you came ready to play. Hey, good friend of the pod, Sarah. Okay. Leeds, you came ready to play. And, and you showed some mettle today. That was really good. That was really good. But this should have been, in my opinion, it should have been the reverse score. It should have been 3-1 us. If we would have went in and taken care of business, this is what I'm afraid of on Saturday. I think Indiana is primed to come in and take care of business. I think Leeds was primed to take care of business at the home turf. And here's what hurts the most, and I'll be done after this. I would rather lose 3-1 to Tottenham than Leeds. Leeds is out. Leeds, they are our main rival, dude. They're our main rival.
Who?
Leeds. They're our main rival, dude. Like, if any of the teams below, like at the bottom, I would rather lose to, not Sunderland, but I'd rather lose to, I don't know, Wolves. I'd rather lose to Wolves 3-1 than Leeds. There's history there. There's history there, bro.
Not like with us.
I mean, of course with you. But
I mean, Manchester United and Leeds have a massive history.
Get it. I get it.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I can't think of a single Chelsea Leeds match in history.
What? Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm telling you.
Maybe Leeds in the early 2000s when they had Harry Kewell and oh shit, not gonna remember who else it was.
There's history there,
Okay.
and we should have came into this game. We should have came into this match ready to present our best starting 11, and we didn't do that. Maresca may have thought that he had the best starting 11, but, my man, when you realize, when we go down 2-0, we don't have our best starting 11 out there. We just don't. We don't. Against a team that is facing, if the league ended today, a team that is facing relegation, trying to fight for their lives right now.
Right, but we've now entered the part of the season where you can't play your best 11 every game. You are literally playing every 3 to 4 days for the entire month of December.
Sure, right.
You cannot possibly put the same 11 guys out.
Well, no.
And never utilize the squad.
But you've got to recognize when somebody is not someone's not in form. They're not in form.
Well, okay.
And you've got to be able to substitute that.
Who would you have sat down today?
Well, after the first goal, I probably would have set Tosin down immediately because he had something to do with pretty much every one of those goals. Tosin would have sat. I'd have brought in Disasi for crying out loud. I'm like, well, why not?
All right.
JoJo's like, hey, put me in.
We'll pause for the cause here. It is right around halftime.
Yeah.
Reminder, Chatham Tap opens at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Breakfast starts at 7:30. Okay, well, ignore the crawl.
Switcheroo.
7:30, but breakfast is at 7:30 as well. And then 11 o'clock on Sunday with breakfast right away. Breakfast runs till 2.
That's my bad on the crawl, guys.
Both days. It's fine. Breakfast runs are 2 both days. Try the new breakfast pizza and poutine. They are yummy.
Putin.
And as I was very thankful to our friends here at Chatham Tap Fishers.
Absolutely.
For allowing us to do this and make fools of ourselves every Wednesday. Every other Wednesday. Yeah, some Wednesdays.
There you go.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Slanky.
all you do for us.
Thank you, JoJo. Anyway, I'm done talking about that. It left a bad, obviously left bad taste in our mouths as Chelsea fans today, guys. But look, this is a blip. It's a blip on the map. It is one of those things, and the more I think about it, I do. I think you're right. I'm like, you can't run the same 11 guys out there when you're playing 3 matches in a week.
Yeah.
You just can't.
It's impossible to do.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you do have to get your head right because Bournemouth are not a team really anybody wants to be playing right now.
No, not at all.
Certainly not a trip down to the South Coast.
After they just got through doing what they did today.
I don't know how Atalanta is doing either in the Champions League or the domestic league in Italy.
Right.
But, again, got to travel away. So you got to travel to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And that game.
That's a tough one.
That's a 10 a.m. game, so that's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday.
3.
So you'd be getting back from the South Coast probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
Maybe a day off, maybe light training.
Depending on the result of that match,
on
probably.
Sunday. Monday, probably don't really get much time, and then you got to fly out to Italy for the Atalanta match.
Yep.
Then turn around. Face Everton
next Saturday at home.
And Everton is a mixed bag right now. We'll get into them with how they're playing when we start talking about Manchester United. Cardiff City, Carabao Cup. It's in Wales, but you should be able to take care of business there.
Hopefully.
And then Newcastle. That's going to be tough.
That's a
Newcastle
tough match, man.
At
Newfeast. At the Newfeast. I'm just saying, not Newfeast. Yeah.
And then Villa. Not really a team you want to be playing with.
It's good.
And then Bournemouth again. I love how you get the
Bournemouth
turnaround.
Yeah, turn around like that.
So, not horrible, but not easy either.
No.
And then you start out January.
At the
City.
Etihad.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is going to be an interesting stretch. We just have to. This is going to test fitness.
Yeah.
It's going to test. How do we bounce back?
Why have 50,000 players on your roster if you're not going to utilize some of these guys? There's no point. I said it with somebody else the other day as well. It's all well and good that there's a 17-year-old on the bench for United, but if you absolutely have no intention of using him when very obviously he's the replacement that is needed in the moment, then why? You're basically getting the kids' hopes up.
Sure.
Hey, sit on the bench with the senior players.
Well, since you mentioned it.
Well, it's been kind of an interesting week for us as well, but I would say in kind of reverse form,
contrast.
To open up there on last Monday. Mm-hmm. 3 consecutive Monday games in a row for Manchester United here too. Weird. But in the first 15 minutes of that match, United were looking okay, not great. But I don't know if Excuse me. I don't know if watching a player on the other team strike his own teammate because he got yelled at and thus get sent off, and therefore you're playing 75 minutes down to 10 men. And United did not put their foot down on them.
Couldn't get it done.
The goal is really disgusting to watch. It's just just a long ball forward. Good on Dewsbury Hall, but when the center backs just drop off of you, and I think Bruno got caught in between.
Yeah,
maybe he's not really going to do a whole lot defensively either.
Right.
Look, I don't care who you are. If you back off of me at the edge of the 18, I'm shooting, and it was a hell of a shot. And Lamon's he got a hand to it, but I'm not sure you save it necessarily. It was a good goal. But we had another 60 minutes to get that game right, and it never looked like it was happening.
No.
It reminded me an awful lot of the Louis van Gaal years where we couldn't figure out how to break down a low block, and suddenly it's just lumping balls into the box. And at least then we had Marwan Fellaini to aim for.
Sure.
Xerxes had some opportunities, but, it was the first time playing. He'd had, a total of 90 minutes across the first half of the season here to play.
Yeah.
Looked rusty. He looked like he was coming the closest to scoring. Pickford made a couple really nice saves. But, Everton came and did what they needed to do. And in my opinion, we are a team still creating our mentality, still building who we are. So there are going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of situations.
Sure.
But now you fast forward to the weekend, or I guess Monday again.
And you guys look like,
and
top.
No, that game was at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. 7 o'clock Monday or Sunday.
And went down to a penalty against Palace, and all of a sudden, I think a lot of fans were like, shit, we didn't take advantage of Everton the way we needed to. Now we've given up a goal at Palace, and Palace are good, which means, okay, how are we going to get back into this? Amram made some good tactical changes at halftime. Really amped the guys up. There was a lot more focus and energy and just getting stuck in, if you will. I know that's such a cliche, but they were really putting themselves about in a way they hadn't in the first half. Xerxes scored an excellent goal. I mean, really, truly. And then,
there may or may not be something about that.
Somewhat reminiscent of Bruno's first season. Not quite as cheeky and spectacular as him setting up. A former French striker that we used to have. I can't remember his name. Wow. But that was nice. So, quickly taking free kick, gets Mount a goal. Nice finish
Mason
there.
Mount.
Yeah, I think we are definitely missing Mateus Cunha's individual play. Because what we saw against Everton, and again, missing him, we don't have a lot of guys with that individual ability. And the other thing I noticed against Everton was we maintained 5 defenders, right? We play that 3-4-2-1 or however you want to look at it. And we were getting guys forward, but if you put Martinez on the bench, if you put Leach on the bench, then push Shaw into that left wing back role if you're going to persist with it, or maybe just go all out. I mean, let's face it, that we just lacked the courage. We played backwards so much again, and I get it. A team is sitting in that low block, but they're not going to follow that ball out. You're not playing that ball back to your center back, and the nearest defender to him is standing at the other side of the circle. They're not going to put that pressure on. They're not going to come out of that shell. So it is your job to figure out how to get the ball to an Mbumo. And unfortunately, the guys that you want to get the ball to, like Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho and Anthony and Jadon Sancho, don't wear red uniforms anymore.
They're gone.
So we have to rely, and Mason Mount isn't that kind of guy. Mason Mount is creative, but he's not going to take guys off the dribble.
Exactly.
Mbumo can. Cunha has basically said, that's my thing.
That's his thing.
Everybody else is just like, well, let's pass it around, do some nice stuff.
Well, what I was going to ask you was, from the Everton match to the Palace match, what I saw was this. I saw a cohesion start to happen. I saw more energy in probably that second half of the Palace match than I did the entire Everton match.
Absolutely.
Do you think that's a sign of the players starting to say, hey, guys, look, okay, yes, we're still growing or stuff like that, so let's get it together? Or is that Amorim? Is that him coming in and saying, hey, guys, look, that match against Everton, that sucked.
Yeah.
We need to do better. I know you can do better. Here's how we do better.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that he made tactical changes at halftime of the Palace match, kind of shows that I think it's a bit of both. I think Amorim was recognizing I can't be as stubborn with my policies and how I'm going to go about things. I do have to make changes. Sure. But I can stay, honest to what we're trying to do with these little tweaks here and there. And I think the players are figuring out the system and it's making more sense to them. Yep. But I also think you can see them working out some things amongst themselves.
Yes.
I love it when you see Bruno come over and talk to somebody, and then an opportunity comes out of that. Okay, you're on the field.
Yeah.
Pep said it best just the other day. There's only so much you can do from the sideline. Yes, you can make substitutions. You can tell people to do this. But as much joysticking as you think Pep does, he's still not actually on the field. So if somebody gets the ball and doesn't execute or doesn't do what you really want them to do, you make substitutions, I suppose, and you try to sort that out. But the game is still going on.
Sure.
So, it's up to a Luke Shaw to look over and say, you know what, maybe I'm better off higher up the field. Maybe we bring on Leach. Let's take off Dorgu, who's really struggling. A guy looked great for the Netherlands and scored a goal cannot reproduce that form for Manchester United. He can't put in a ball. He can't finish. He works his ass off.
Sure. But I think
at this level, that's the minimum.
Right. I think that's what I'm kind of saying. Going back, jumping back a little bit about Chelsea, is like, where was the presence on the field from? Where was the Reece James presence on the field to where he was like, dude, you're sucking it up, coach. We need somebody else. We need somebody else's energy. I see that in Manchester United. I see that they are starting to put those blocks together, and the fact is that they are continuing to build. What are you laughing at?
I was like, somebody's watching us on YouTube, and then I saw you checked your phone. You're watching us on YouTube, so.
Hey.
All ones of our viewers. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey,
you can get this after the fact.
That's right. That's right.
So.
And I think that's where we get.
Yeah, as a reminder, we do broadcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live when the technology works out for us. So definitely follow us, like, and subscribe. Definitely reach out in the comments. We try to post some things, some weekly questions, or just recaps of the games for everybody to banter about. But we do have the video gets downloaded and then re-uploaded to a site that disseminates us across podcasts. So the most common way to find us there would be Spotify, Apple, and then probably, I think, most major places. I honestly don't know all the sites because it Captivate sends us to all of them. So but wherever you are watching or listening, hit that like button, subscribe, follow us, and engage. We love to hear from people, and we want to know your thoughts. Maybe maybe we suck. I don't know. But we definitely appreciate you tuning in. We've got good viewership, good listeners. So check us out, and that's my spiel for that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to. All right, where do you want to go with this, man? I mean, I have subdued confidence. I think I could say subdued confidence. Is that okay for me to? Can I have that?
Cautiously optimistic.
Okay, cautiously subdued confidence. Cautiously optimistic. Okay,
I mean, look, I think these were two of the better games that we've seen under Pac. Yeah. And certainly two of the better teams that we've had to play against. Both these teams have qualified for the World Cup. They're experimenting too, right? But But we brought a true B team, and I know that Pac rightly got pissed off when they said, the regular guys not being there and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
everybody in the pool is a regular guy.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody deserves to be mentioned like that, and we'll see who actually, makes the trip.
Right.
Who gets on the? Well, I guess they could probably drive there themselves.
Who gets on the train?
But who's actually there?
Yeah.
When it comes and I saw some players really make a name for themselves, especially in that Uruguay match. I mean, 4 goals in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot. And Uruguay might have made some changes for themselves, but I mean, the guys you saw playing in those 2 games, by and large, I don't think that's going to be the team that walks out next summer. What is cool is we find out who those opponents are on Friday.
Exactly.
We have the draw. I believe the draw begins at 11 a.m. For some reason, Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal are being asked to potentially assist with the draw. I don't know. To be fair, Tom Brady has bought into an English soccer team.
Yes, true.
And Shaq just owns half the world.
Well, so, it's kind of like what Kevin Hart says. He's going to sit there and go, he's going to be like, it's everything. Yep. That's what he's going to say. Yeah. It's everything. It's everything. Anyway, no, I like the way the U.S. is playing now, especially coming into the draw. It's like, okay, this is our home turf. Yes, absolutely. This is a friendly, quote unquote friendly. But for me, Uruguay was a good test.
Yeah,
it was a good test. Even if they were both B teams or whatever, our guys came out ready to play. Diego Luna looked good during that match. There was a lot of energy from a lot of the guys.
I like Luna a lot. I think he should be on the. I think he's on that roster.
He's my guy,
regardless, because of the energy he brings.
Yes.
He's a game changer. He can come on and change a game. He's definitely going to give you everything he's got. And he offers something kind of different because of that.
And I'm not saying talent-wise, but I'm saying energy-wise, he reminds me of a Clint Dempsey. He reminds me of that spark plug.
Fierce,
you know what I mean?
Bulldog
yes,
kind of.
Yes, he reminds me of that, and so that's why I really hope he makes a squad. But I think Pac now has an idea about these guys. I think he understands. Okay, look, this is American soccer. This is USA soccer. It can be very beautiful. It can be very flowing, but we are in CONCACAF. CONCACAF is the NFC North of soccer, of football, of soccer. I believe it is that hard nose, like you just grind, you get every yard that you can. It's that kind of football.
Do people throw urine at you in vomit and feces in the NFL? I think that's something they don't have to put up with.
I think that's something that you get fined for, to be quite honest with you, because I think that happens behind closed doors. Wow.
Well,
anyway,
we've got Belgium,
yep.
Portugal,
yep.
and Germany.
Oh.
Germany 1 week before the World Cup kicks
off.
off.
Wow.
Pretty awesome, really. I think
that'll be a great
match,
thing, dude.
I would imagine these teams are going to come out for friendlies, and in the first half, you're probably going to see their normal starting 11.
Yes.
And then they're all going to make 20 subs for the second half.
Yes,
as they should. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Nobody wants to see anybody get injured.
No.
Before a major tournament. But I think in both of those games, you're going to see, against Portugal, you're going to see Cristiano out there.
Sure.
Germany, they're going to have everybody out there as well. Belgium,
De Bruyne is. Did he make the Belgian squad?
Well, he's currently injured, so there's concern.
That's true.
He's out
yeah.
until I
that's
believe mid-January with either a quad or a hamstring.
That's the thing we're looking at Cole Palmer too, because hey, Tuchel's like, if you don't play,
right.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, I don't know though. I mean, if Cole Palmer gets another injury and say he doesn't play except in May, as long as he's playing okay, he's making that World Cup.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
I mean, as a manager, look, Harry Maguire was about a year and a half in the wilderness for Manchester United. Ten Hag didn't like him. He wasn't doing all that great under Amorim, but he put his head down and he stuck with it. But during that entire time, Gareth Southgate stuck with him, and Thomas Tuchel wants him as well.
Yeah,
which tells you everything you need to know, right? Like there is something to be said for you do need to be match fit.
But that's more true.
That's more true of the players that I've got 4 options here.
I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. I'm sorry. I'm a Harry Maguire fan. I am. I love that guy.
It's hard not to be after you've seen what he does. I mean, I get it. If you're just an ABU, you're not going to give us any praise. But the man put his head down and righted the wrongs.
Yep, absolutely.
And he is who he is.
Yep. Yep.
But I feel good. I think we're going to learn a lot more in March, toward the end of March there in that friendly. I don't have high hopes against Germany. But you know what? If we play them well, who knows? So there's that.
Eins drei. I think we 1-2. I think Germany wins that friendly. But can we move to the ladies?
Yeah, the ladies here.
I saw an incredible clip from I don't know if it's a documentary or a series talking about leadership from Emma Hayes.
Okay.
And I love Emma Hayes.
I do too.
I'm
glad you brought this up because I have something to say about her.
I love her more now because during this interview she was doing, she said, I was approaching the game just like the guys did. And she realized, say, hey, my female players, let's just be honest. There are times that I have to, the times during the month that I have to coach them differently. Mm-hmm. That you know what, it's like, hey, look, I know this sucks, but we still have to do our job. Yep. And it was so amazing. And I apologize if I screwed that up or however, but I love the way that she said it because it's like, it just proves to me how women are so much more involved than we are. We get a little sniffle and we're down. But women are like, no, I'm going to fight through because this is my job. And I love that she's instilling that into our women's team. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing. I need to find it and I'll throw it on our site or something like that. But it was beautiful. She described it so wonderfully and so eloquently that being 3 deep in these doesn't help.
Well, as an extension of that commentary, so I saw a few videos on TikTok. And it was for the it was Stud Buds, the 2 girls from the WNBA.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, they've got a channel and they were active during the All-Star break.
Okay,
just really cool. They're both professional players, and they had joined Megan Rapinoe at the NWSL final, which the Gotham SC won. Rose Lavelle finally gets her medal.
Okay.
That's awesome. But what was so cool was, Megan showing the 2 of them around and explaining things to her. And then she was like, here are 2 of my best buddies in the world, and one of them was Emily Sonnet. And I love Emily Sonnet, man. And
Emily Sonnet,
it's taken so long for her to get the recognition that she deserves and to be a regular on the national team, and I think it's fantastic. And then after the game, just the camaraderie that all these women have, even as rivals.
Yeah.
And then to tack on to that, there's a video of, so the U.S. women, not to bury the lead, the U.S. women played Italy twice over the course of a couple days, won 2-0 and 3-0. Kat Macario is doing Kat Macario things. That's awesome. Italy's not very good. But they were in camp, and Emma was addressing the team, and apparently the players from Gotham, and I can't remember who they played against. I apologize, but apparently those players hadn't gotten there yet, or no, actually they had. The Gotham FC, they'd gotten an extra day off, I think, those players. So she said, hey, before we go down to dinner, and she said, I know this might be tough for some of you, that we're on the losing team, but she's like, they're getting in at 9:00. I want to greet them in the lobby, and I know it's difficult, and I know you're saying, Coach, this is the last thing I want to do is, greet the team that just beat us in the NWSL final, but that's what we do. We're here for each other.
Yeah. And
I thought it was really cool, and then they go, showed them greeting, and everybody's hugging and just having a laugh. And I'm with you. I was lucky enough to coach a few women's teams.
Yep.
And I saw a level of camaraderie and
yes,
fun but competitiveness in a way that I have not experienced or seen.
Yeah.
Even coaching boys and young men.
Yep.
And I don't know what that is. I think it may be the level of maturity that women have. Maybe it's the fact that they've always been treated differently, so they treat one another with a lot more respect.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have to swallow a lot of bullshit. I don't know what it is, and feel free to, critique what we've just said or offer up your take on what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think it's special, and I think that says an awful lot about Emma and this team, and it seems consistent. We saw this with the Mia and Brandy Chastain teams.
Yes.
We saw it with Alex Morgan and Pino and the Carly Lloyd. Even with some of the controversies that they had, that team fought tooth and nail for one another, and I think there's something special. And I'm with you. I love Emma.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that leads us into our next segment called the Hey Aaron segment of our show. Oh, yeah. Drunk crowd loves it. They love the Hey Aaron segment.
Think about it.
All right, people. Welcome back. This is the Hey Aaron segment. And this week, we are calling it Hot Take or Heartbreak. This is the kind of the first third of the season edition. So I'm about to throw out some statements shaped by the latest Premier League results, okay? And you get to decide, Aaron, whether it's a hot take where it actually has merit or it's a heartbreak where basically it's a crime against football logic, okay? So here we go. Round number one, hot take or heartbreak. With Cole Palmer fit again, Chelsea will finish in the top 4 this season.
I'd say hot take, and I'll take it a step further.
Thank you.
I'm not sure Cole Palmer has to be healthy for this Chelsea club to finish in the top 4. Can they continue to challenge Arsenal without him for long periods of time? I doubt it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a really, really incredibly good team coming together here. I think a little quicker than was maybe expected. I think they're on a better trajectory than I would have said this time last year.
Yeah.
Regardless, they've got talent. I mean, barring injuries elsewhere, right? And Esteval gets hurt, and that suddenly brings the team morale down because everybody rallies around a kid like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? You come in and you're like, wow, I didn't know
this guy's
got something, and the last thing you want is to seem to not be able to perform for you. But maybe also, you young guys get an opportunity to step up. We haven't seen much out of Jamie Gittins yet, and if his teammates will pass him the ball.
We did today early, but they didn't pass him the ball.
Yeah, they didn't pass him the ball enough. So if he can get incorporated, I think they.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea finishes top 4 with or without Cole Palmer being healthy for the rest of the season.
Interesting. Okay, round number 2, hot take or heartbreak. Bruno Fernandes is single-handedly keeping Manchester United relevant in the hunt for the European spots.
Heartbreak. I love Bruno, and he has had some excellent games this season, and has done his job of dragging us out of the gutter a few times. But I also think he still goes missing. He's still not in the best position for him, and it's. I think it's more of a team effort now than it was previously, and that's a good thing for the team and a good thing for him.
Okay.
But no, I don't agree that it's just down to him.
Okay. All right. Round number 3, hot take or heartbreak. If United's defense stays this unreliable, even red card heavy win over Chelsea won't save their top half hopes.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question.
So, this is good old ChatGPT. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, so let me put this in human terms. If United's defense stays as it is,
okay,
do you think that they have enough gas in the tank to stay in the top half of the table?
Oh, absolutely.
Hot take?
Yeah, I think they're quite able to do that.
Okay.
Now, a lot of things have to align, but one thing that's really excellent for us is Leach is back.
Okay.
So we, and he looked fine playing. If he gets back to the guy who's a bit of a playmaker, right? I got to be honest, I might be interested to see him play in a defensive midfield role. Because I think he's got enough game on the ball to do it. He's obviously tenacious, loves to tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those guys that, like, you see some of those defenders that they're, like, reluctant. And then you see guys that, like, chase a dude down over 30 yards, crunch him in the tackle, and get up and immediately smash the goalkeeper. Like, high-fiving,
I love that.
Like, the goalie's like, shit, man, calm down.
Like, whoa.
He just strikes me as that kind of defender, and then I think that allows Luke Shaw to play in his more natural wing-back position. Legs are getting there, but if you can split that time between him and Dorgu, maybe that's good. Maybe we see Shaw for the first 60 out there, and then you bring on Dorgu or vice versa.
Okay.
Aiden Heaven is going to be available again. I've been loving me some Linioro. Delict looks good. Harry Maguire can come in and still do a job. So I have confidence. I don't think the goals are down to the defense so much. I think the goals that we give up tend to be because our midfield gets overrun.
All right.
And as a defender, you're like, I'm facing a 2-on-4 here.
Right. All right, we're halfway home. Round 4, hot take or heartbreak. Joshua Zirkzee scoring again proves he should start and not be a substitute for United.
Ooh. Well, thankfully we can kind of do one of those because Sesko's going to be out for a little bit, so he's going to have to play more.
Okay.
I don't believe he's a striker, and here's how I know that is because the Dutch don't always use him as a striker. They do sometimes use him as a striker, but when you see
kind of in that false nine
how they get deployed,
deal.
I don't think he's that guy. I think he's more of a 10.
Okay.
Of which we have 40. But while Cunha's out and while Sesko's out, needs must.
Yes.
And he's stepped up. He's had good energy. He's worked hard.
Right.
He had some opportunities against Everton, and then he scored a blinder against Palace.
Man.
So, look, just give him his opportunities.
Okay.
And come May, we'll make a decision then.
Yep. Round number 5, hot take or heartbreak. Chelsea's midfield without Palmer is a train wreck. Once he's back, they'll look like top 6 contenders again.
Can I tweak your question?
Please.
Because your midfield looks like a train wreck without Caicedo.
Without Caicedo.
I think they've figured out how to cope without Cole Palmer, which is a weird thing to say because he's an intangible. He can do things.
Sure.
But you have adapted to life without him for a little bit.
Sure.
And I think today definitely showed that without a
Caicedo,
him and Fernandez really control the center of the field for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was playing alongside
and they didn't.
Enzo today, but they did not have the same level of control. And you could see it with the number of times Leeds won the ball and immediately were on the attack. I mean, they weren't, they went for it. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they did. All right, final round, round 6. This is the wild card, the chaos round. Hot take or heartbreak. If Erling Haaland reaches 30 goals by season's end, everyone else in the league looks like amateurs this year.
No. I mean, the fact that he's as incredible and prolific as he is does not diminish the value of other players. And let's put it this way. Erling Haaland might score 30 goals and City don't win the title.
True.
So, he's brilliant as a pure goal scorer. I don't take a thing away from him, but he does not offer City what Harry Kane offers to Bayern Munich.
Wow.
And I think Pep has had to figure out a way to manufacture opportunities to keep Erling Haaland relevant. Yeah. And I don't mean that as shitty as that kind of comes across.
No.
There have been games that City don't focus on him as much, and maybe they shouldn't at times because they have a dynamic team. But, I mean, it's awesome when he scores goals. But I think they need more than just Erling Haaland scoring 30 goals. And Foden being back to better form has really helped. Jeremy Doku.
That kid. Wow.
You see some players, and you hope for it, right?
Do you say dud?
I love.
Do you say dud?
I love Marcus Rashford, and he was on a great trajectory, and then he got derailed, and it was so disappointing to see because you're like, oh man, I want to see him just take things to that next level, and as much as I hate that he's doing it in a Barcelona shirt, we're watching an evolution of Rashford.
Crap,
Jeremy Doku reminded me an awful lot of the first 1 to 2 seasons of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ooh.
Exciting to watch, but just didn't have the nous, didn't know when to do the step overs, didn't know when to cross, didn't know how to do the correct cross cutbacks and things like that. We have witnessed Jeremy Doku take that next step. And he's on the verge of being a world-class player, and next summer's World Cup could be a true coming-out party for him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our Hey Aaron segment. My man, hot take or heartbreak? You did such a great job on that, brother. Yeah, see, drunk crowd loves it. I'm telling you. Hey, these are pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our final segment and the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. This is our Aaron's Final Thoughts segment. So for both of us, I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you so much for joining us. And, my man, what you got for us tonight?
It's holiday time, and as fun as it is, it can also be a sad time for some people. Missing loved ones, missing family and friends that are no longer with us, unable to get places because of weather or just, how expensive things are. Planes being grounded, things of that nature. But hopefully, if you hear my voice, you had an opportunity to spend some time with people you really care about. Last week, we were able to spend some time with my wife's family. Unfortunately, they normally do things on Saturday and weren't able to have the big family Thanksgiving because of the weather in the west and northwest of Indiana, causing a 40-car pileup on I-70. But I hope everybody has made it thus far safe and are relatively happy with what's going on. The holidays can be tough, and I know it sounds crazy. We're just nebulous voices or faces on your screen. But let me tell you, this man right here has a heart of gold, and I try my best to demonstrate the same. So DM us, hit us up. If you're having a hard time, we'll crack a joke. We'll talk soccer. We'll talk about anything but the thing you don't want to talk about, or maybe we'll talk exactly about that because catharsis is good. But we're here for you, and we're going to be here throughout the holiday season. Hope to have another show in. Winnie the Claus.
Yeah, baby.
Santa the Pooh will be here for our next show as well. And I don't think we've got a Chelsea match, Man U Chelsea match. I think the Derby watch party will be in like March or something like that.
Yes, I think so.
But I tell you what, I've met a lot of people who've only recently discovered that Chatham Tap Fishers is up here. Come out on a Saturday or Sunday. you can easily look us up and figure out who we are. I certainly will be easy to identify.
I'm hit or miss.
Evan probably isn't even easier to identify in Fishers. But we are here, and we're not just random folks.
Right.
We actually do care about each and every one of you.
Yep.
And are happy to take that time. So if you need anything, please reach out. Like I said earlier, follow, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Get in touch, and happy holidays, everybody, and enjoy the fact that for basically the next 3 weeks we get non-stop soccer, basically every day.
Woo!
So.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, my man. Thank you for your ever just wise words. I appreciate you. Winnie the Pooh Claus, Winnie the Claus, thank you so much for being with us. Guys, listen. Oh, thank you. Have a great night. Hashtag Black People Vote.
Hashtag say gay. Hashtag say trans.
Deuces.